My dear brothers and sisters, our gospel continues on giving us the picture of the continuous rectification or correction of a particular mentality of the Pharisees and the scribes. It is still on the question of Sabbath, in which we hear again in the gospel today that Jesus Christ raised the very question, for he was being actually put in a box. He was actually, they're trying to test him again. And here, Jesus Christ said, is it lawful to cure on the Sabbath or not? But they kept silent. So he took the man, and after he had killed him, dismissed him. Then he said to them, who among you, if your son or ox falls into a cistern, would not immediately pull him out the Sabbath day? But they were able to answer his questions. And truly enough, the Pharisees and the people of his time, they failed to appreciate Jesus because they are focused more on this kind of mentality, in which we are being reminded once again, my dear brothers and sisters, we could not appreciate a person and we miss the opportunity to know him more if we just focus on trying to find negativity, trying to point out his point out some traits, or we're trying to put down a person, and only we look after what we can see of him, or an opportunity to put him down. In which, in the journey of life, we are being reminded today that we may not be able to appreciate one another if we only focus on the negative side, or trying to correct or look at the bad side of a person, and we fail to recognize and appreciate him. But then Jesus Christ said, bringing us again a moral question, that what is the more loving and moral thing to do on a Sabbath day? If your son or ox falls into a cistern, would not immediately pull him? Unable to answer his question, which means they were so silent, which means they're only conforming to a certain kind of mentality in which, by the heart, they knew well that the most loving thing to do is to help your brothers and sisters. In which, my dear brothers and sisters, let us not be silenced by a kind of conformity in our society. Rather, let our mouths speak, let our eyes see, and most especially, let us actually live what our heart tells us to do. In which we know that in mind and heart, we know what actually conforms to the will of God. And this is our Lord Jesus Christ trying to tell us today. Deep in our heart, we know that God is there, telling to us that in spite of, let us do the will of God amidst compromises. Let us not be silenced, rather let us speak, proclaim the love of God. And that is no other than helping one another, especially our brothers and sisters who are in need, even in the time of Sabbath. Amen.